So I'm just gonna gently mix it up. I don't wanna break the avocado too much because it is a little soft. So I'm just gonna give it a nice stir, like so, and then I'll be ready to plate it.
What we do here is go back.
Alright, today I am going to prepare for you a avocado chicken salad with a few different ingredients inside of it. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this segment. I used to call my random creations icebox throws. Yes, I say icebox instead of refrigerator. I don't know if that's a southern thing or just a me thing. But icebox throws is anything that I find inside the refrigerator that I can put together to make a delicious meal. So we're going to start today by cutting up some chicken. I already baked some chicken in the oven, 30 minutes at 350 degrees, and I'm going to go ahead and start slicing that. I know I don't use the knife that is probably the most appropriate for slicing chicken or tomatoes or any other food for that matter, but it's how I do it. It's how I've always done it. So I'm going to keep using the knife that I am most comfortable with. I'm just going to cut these into bite-sized chunks. I don't want them too big or too small. It says to use, I'm adapting this from a recipe that I did find on Pinterest, but I'm kind of making it my own, changing up a few little things. It said to have 2 chicken breasts, but right now I'm only going to use 1 chicken breast, and if at the end, if I feel like it needs a little bit more chicken, then I'm going to do that as well. I'm using this as a side dish for today's lunch. We're going to have my parents over, and we're going to eat some roast, rice and gravy, some squash casserole. So I'm using this as a side dish. So I don't need too much chicken. I don't need it to be too full of chicken. The chicken is diced and ready to go in the bowl. Got my bowl, and I'm just going to add my chunky chicken to it. My recipe also calls for 1 corn on the cob. I tried the whole microwave it with the husk on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It says it's magic and it's supposed to slide right out of the husk. I can never make it magically slide right out of the husk, but I do find that when you microwave it for about 6 minutes in the microwave, the silk part does come cleanly off with a quick brush of it like this. I made a few extra because my kids will not eat chicken avocado salad, so they might eat just the regular corn on the cob. So I already have a cup of it chopped up. So I'm going to take my chopped corn and I'm going to add it to my bowl of chicken. I also have chopped tomatoes. Add that in. The bacon. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to need to add is my chopped tomatoes. I bought little cherry tomatoes and I'm dicing them into quarters. Sometimes I might even dice them into 8s, and I'm just going to throw them in the bowl. I use maybe about 10 of them. I'm not adding enough to make it taste tomatoey, just enough to give it a little bit of color. So about 10 diced tomatoes in there. I also just added the bacon. It was 5 slices of bacon crumbled into it. The next ingredient is going to be chopped onions or chives. I use a scissors to chop my green onions. I just take the whole batch like this and cut them with the scissors, my food quality scissors. There is a cute little chive herb chopping scissors that you can get. I just use a regular pair of kind of kitchen scissors. It said about 1/4 of a cup. I like it kind of potent with chives, so we're going to go ahead and add that. I also like to kind of have my stuff pre-cut, in the bowl before I start mixing it all together. That way, when it's time to assemble it, it makes it a little bit easy, and it makes cleanup a lot easier too, because I can just turn around and throw this into the sink. So that is it for the main ingredients. So we have the chicken, we have the corn, we have the bacon, and the chives. Now we have to add the avocado. So here's my dilemma. I never know when an avocado is ripe, too ripe, or completely unripe. So I have 2 avocados that are kind of dark, and I have a feeling when I cut them open, they might actually be too ripe, too smushy, turning brown already. So I have another one that is still firm and green. This one might not be ready enough. So we're going to experiment. We may end up having chicken salad without avocado, but we'll try it in a little bit. Yeah, this one's kind of firm, so I don't know if this one's gonna be ready yet. We'll see when I twist it open. No, it's probably good. Let's see if this one is too soft. It calls for 2 or 3 avocados, depending on how much avocado you actually want. The thing about avocados, they are gonna turn brown. So you wanna make sure you put some kind of acid on them. I usually just squirt a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice. I have a lemon ready because the dressing for this calls for lemon, so I'm just gonna squirt a little bit on there now, just so that I can try to keep it from browning before I go to actually eat my dish. I am going to scoop it out with a spoon. So I think actually all of them are working. All of them seem to be pretty good. I usually like to kind of stab it, twist it, chunk it, and then just kind of scoop it around with my spoon. I don't know if I need to add all of them, so I think I'm just, you know what, we'll just add them all. So I have my avocados cut in half. I'm starting to scoop them out. Squirted the lemon juice a little bit on the back sides of them, just so they'll stay nice and green and not turn brown before lunch. All right, let's get these last ones out. To me, there's nothing worse than when you get a dish and the avocados are starting to turn brown. Like this one has a little bit of brown around the edges, but I think I can save some of it. If it's too soft, when you go to stir up your salad, it's gonna start falling apart. So you don't want it to do that either. So my best 2 of those, the newest ones that I just bought yesterday at Winn-Dixie, right before Hurricane Nate was threatening us. I stopped at Winn-Dixie, and while everybody else is getting bread and water and batteries, I was getting avocados so that I could make this salad today. See, this one's a little soft, so I'm a little nervous about this one. I'm nervous that when I put it into the salad, it's gonna be a little mushy. So I might leave that one out and just use it as decoration later. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my chunky avocado to the bowl. And then I'm gonna just kind of give it a toss with my hands. I like to use my hands. It makes everything a little bit easier. Just make sure you've cleaned them. Clean them before, clean them after. Oh man, this is looking good already, and it doesn't even have the dressing yet on it. So I'm gonna rinse my hands quickly so that I can put together the dressing for you. My favorite type of dressings for any kind of salad, whether it's a lettuce salad or a pasta salad, or in this case, a chicken and avocado, a big high protein salad, I like to use a lemon base, lemon and olive oil. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go ahead and move this into the sink. And I'm gonna put my corn to the side. And I'm gonna bring over my stuff for my toppings and my dressing. So here I have my little dressing container. This is how I like to mix the dressing. Yes, you can stir it with a fork. Yes, you can do however you want. I like to mix it here. So I have here a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, kind of keeping my acid, my vinegar, if you use vinegar, or your lemon juice, equal amounts to my oil. This is my favorite seasoning in the world. A lot of recipes call for garlic, paprika, salt, pepper. I use my French fry seasoning that I get from Big Lots on everything. And it's a little mixture of all of those different ingredients that I just talked about. So anytime your recipe calls for garlic, paprika, a seasonal, this is what I use. So I'm gonna add that to my dressing. And then I'm gonna top it off and give it a good shake in there. And at this point, you can go ahead and pour it onto your salad. Now, I might again want to use my hands. This time it is going to get a little bit messier because now I have added a liquid to it. So I think this time I'm going to stir it and toss it with a fork and a spoon. I'm going to grab me a spoon and a fork so that we can start to toss it. Now the final thing I want to add to my salad, I'm going to top it when it's done, is some boiled eggs. I happen to use a egg cooker, and I find that my egg cooker uses a little bit of water to boil the eggs to perfection. So this is the way I'll boil. You can use any other method to boil eggs. So I'm gonna add the eggs as a final topping. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop the eggs in the chopper, get them ready, but then wait until I'm ready to plate it before I add the eggs, because I want it to be kind of in the top. You can slice them once, you can slice them twice, you can quarter them. I just like little chunks of eggs in my salad. You might also find it needs a little bit more seasoning. We like our stuff seasoned very well. Here in the South, we use a lot of Tony's Sashery, so that might be one other type of seasoning that you can add to give it a little bit of spice, a little extra salt. Wasn't planning on using that one, but I changed my mind. So I'm just gonna gently mix it up. I don't wanna break the avocado too much because it is a little soft. So I'm just gonna give it a nice stir, like so, and then I'll be ready to plate it. Just put a little bit on a plate. Make sure you get a little bit of all those colors, the tomatoes, the avocado, the chicken, and then I'm gonna top it with my egg. And then also for just an extra little color on top, I'm gonna add a little chive right there on top of the egg. And there you go. That is the final product. I like to get a bite of everything when I take a bite. So I want to try to get a piece of chicken, a piece of egg, a piece of avocado, a piece of corn. That's really good. It's a little warm still because the chicken was fresh out of the oven. Nothing wrong with that. The lemon gives it a little kick. The corn gives it a little crunch. And the egg just adds a little creamy texture. This is very good. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching me cook my first icebox throw on laying down Lambert and choosing a dish that I've never tried before. Just a bunch of ingredients I pulled out of the icebox refrigerator, and bon appetit. Do we have a link yet, Chad? Can you link stuff? Can we link stuff?
What?
Or link a recipe? Okay, never mind, cut all that.